Welcome everyone. My name's Shafraz Jeel, and today I've been asked to share my testimony of how I was a Muslim and how the Lord Jesus Christ saved me. So just a bit of background, I'm half Pakistani, half English. I was born in Slough, raised in Teesside, and I was brought up a Muslim. I grew up as a normal child up until the age of 11 when my father remarried, and this didn't go down too well with my family. My mum was actually disabled, so after she had me, my twin sister, she ended up becoming really, really ill. So my father's aim was to remarry, that she, because in Islam you can have multiple wives, that this wife could then look after my mother. But that obviously broke her heart. So they ended up in separation. And then when I was 14, my mum actually hit her head and went into a coma. And that was on a Friday. And a week later, she ended up passing away. So all my family came. We buried my mother. And everybody continued in their normal life. There was me, my twin sister, my older sister was 16. And we lived together in a house. So as you could probably imagine, it didn't end too well, and got mixed up in all sorts of things. But then, fortunately, one of my family members intervened and asked us to come to Bradford. So we moved to Bradford. Things with me escalated. I got involved with the wrong people, driving cars, selling drugs. We were actually selling drugs when we were in Stockton as well. So things were just escalating really, really quickly. And it got to a point where I ended up joining the British Army, and went into the Army Careers Office with some guys when I was stoned, and it just turned around that God used that time to better me and to get me onto this journey. I was in the British Army for 4 years. I went to Iraq in Optelic 7, that was 2005. And that was an experience to say. You hear so many conspiracy theories, but seeing it firsthand, when I was there, I had this moment where I could feel in my heart that there was something not quite right with what we were doing. And I think this is where I started to have a shift in consciousness about the reality of this world that we live in. So when we came back from Iraq, I was actually based in Germany. A lot of lads, we end up went to Amsterdam and we got stoned and got caught on a drug test, so I got discharged. And to be honest, this is a cycle of, rebellion inside of me and, probably the wounds of the past catching up. So I ended up going back to Stockton-on-Tees. I went to Riverside College to study electrician course. I got a part-time job in sales at Curry's, and then I ended up getting offered a job at Carphone, which had commission, so it was a bit better. So I ended up going on this route of just studying. I finished my course. The building trade was, there was a crash, so it was very hard to get an electrician job. So I ended up pursuing a career in sales, ended up becoming an assistant manager, and then later on went into management. I went into Your Move, which was basically house evaluation. And this is where my story started to change a little. In the meantime, that was my full-time job, but on the side of that, I was doing a bit of modelling. I was really into the gym, and I was approached to do some shoots and stuff like that, and then ended up getting an agency, and things started to escalate. I was approached to do a TV pilot with Sony, and they were filming a thing called The Odd Squad. And I was one of the fitness guys there that was going to basically guide the 7 people into this jungle. Not a jungle, but it was in the Canary Islands. On there I met a guy called Colin Riddler, who was a Freemason. And he basically introduced me to Freemasonry, which when I came back from the Canary Islands, we ended up meeting in Batley, because at the time now I was living in Morley. So I ended up meeting up with these Freemasons for a while, and I had the same thing happen when I was in Iraq. My heart was telling me that there was something wrong, that there was just something not quite right. After a few months of meeting these gentlemen, I ended up saying no. And it was funny because the person I was dating at the time actually wanted me to join. So upon saying no, for some reason that caused a big argument between us, and it was quite intense. When I said no, I realised that how things started to go wrong in my life.
going on a night out for my partner's, at the time, sister's birthday, and I ended up getting jumped. So about 6 lads came and they smashed bottles over my head and everything. And this was because they liked my partner at the time. One of them tried to chat her up, and I didn't see any of this. They just saw me with her, and then they all came at me. So this happened, and then a couple of days later, I was at the gym. I had some, bandages and stuff like that, but I was that addicted to the gym. My identity was so much into being in shape and having this look that, I had to go to the gym. I ended up dropping a 20 kg plate on my foot and shattered my foot. And also at the time, in my house, my shower broke, my washer broke, my fireplace broke, my kitchen ceiling roof collapsed. And in my house, you could feel just like this oppression and weight. And it was a really intense time. So I'm actually laid in my front room with my foot up. Obviously, I've shattered my foot. It's an open wound. There's blood on my bandages. It's throbbing, and I made the decision to leave my current job as an evaluation manager, to leave the partner I was with at the time, to leave where I was living. I called my father after so many years of not really having a good relationship, and I asked him for help. So he ended up coming to pick me up. I packed my bags and I just went to his house, and I had my foot up for 3 weeks. And I was just resting at his house, and